Hi, and welcome to Ellery Math Notebooks video on systems of equations, basic word problems. In this video, we're going to look at the types of word problems where it gives you two sentences and then a question. Each of those two sentences will be used to make an equation. For example, let's look at this problem. The sum of two numbers is 38. The larger number is 4 less than twice the smaller number. What are the two numbers? So you see, like I said, three-sentence problem. Sentence 1 is going to be one equation. Sentence 2 will be the other equation. And the third sentence is the question. It's what it's asking. So we look at that first sentence. The sum of two numbers is 38. Well, you have to remember back to your elementary math. The word sum means you're going to add. So when you add two numbers, you get 38. Our two numbers are going to be our variables. Since we have a larger number and a smaller number in the second sentence, I'm going to use L and S. Really, you could use any variable, but it's easier if you use a letter to represent what's in the problem. That way you don't get mixed up on which one's which. So we'll use L and S, and like I said, it's the sum. So you're adding L and S, and it's going to equal 38. So our first equation is L plus S equals 38. Our second equation is going to come from the second sentence that's now in green. It says the larger number is 4 less than twice the smaller number. This problem, or this sentence, is one that a lot of middle school kids have a difficult time with. But if you just read and follow what it says, you should be okay. Start off with, it says the larger number is. In math, the word is the same as equals. So we have the larger number equals. So our equation is going to start off L equals, because L was the larger number. Now is where it gets a little bit tricky. 4 less than twice the smaller number. If something is less than the smaller number, that means you are looking at subtracting from that number. A lot of people want to read it in the order it's written and do 4 minus twice the smaller number. But that's not how this works. If you have 4 less than someone, you subtract 4 from what they have. So, in this case, we're going to do twice the smaller number minus 4. The other part that a lot of 8th graders or middle schoolers in general leave out is that twice. In math problems, people tend to look for the numbers in the problem. And if the number is a word, like twice in this case, they ignore it or skip over it. So when you have twice something, that means it doubles, so 2 times it. So our equation is going to end up as L equals 2 times S, or 2S, minus 4. So there are our two equations. Now, the problem is asking, what are the two numbers? So in this case, we have to solve for both L and S. If it was asking for just a larger number, we would need just L, or if it was asking for just S, we would need, or if it was asking for the smaller number, we need just S. So we're going to take our two equations and solve. So, like we had before, our first equation was L plus S equals 38. Our second equation was L equals 2S minus 4. So what we're going to do is a little substitution. We're going to start with that first equation, L plus S equals 38. Since our second equation is L equals, we're going to substitute for L. So L comes out of that first equation. That's why on this third line we're missing the blue L. And in its place, 2S minus 4 is going in. So now our new equation that we're going to solve is 2S minus 4 plus S equals 38. So now we progress through solving that. The next thing we do is combine like terms. 2s plus s is 3s. So now we have 3s minus 4 equals 38. We continue solving, so we have to do the opposite in order to solve. So we have a minus 4, so we're going to add 4 to each side. So now we have 3s equals 42. Then we divide by 3, s equals 14. So now we know the smaller number is 14. To get L, we have to plug it into that second equation. So that second equation says 2s minus 4. So we're going to take 2 and multiply by our s value, which is 14. So 2 times 14 minus 4. 2 times 14 is 28. 28 minus 4 is 24. And now we have our two answers. So now you're going to try. You're going to get a word problem. First, you'll need to get the two equations. After a minute or two, you're going to be given the correct equations. Once you have the equations, you'll need to solve for the variables. Ready? Go. The sum of two numbers is 46. The larger number is 5 less than twice the smaller number. What are the two numbers? Your two equations should be L plus S equals 46 and L equals 2S minus 5. Continue to solve to get the two numbers. Time's up. Your answers will be S equals 17 and L equals 29. Hopefully you did well on this and got both of these answers correct. Make sure to check with ellerbmathNotebook.com if you have any problems and need extra help with this work.